Hello and welcome to the second part of merge sort counting inversion problem. In the first part, I have discussed how to start with the merge sort, what is inversion, and how merge sort actually works. And also, I have pointed out where the inversion will happen and how we'll calculate that. So, in this particular part, we'll see how to code for this particular problem because, in general, logic building is hard and coding is simple for most of the problem, but however, in this particular problem there are so many intricacies involved, hence I am writing code for this particular solution also. And second is I promised you memes in the first part, so let's get started with that first and after that we'll start the code. So this is the merge sort. It's very powerful, and merge sort is something makes you cool. And merge sort is so powerful, so if we apply for a small array or small list of numbers, so this clearly depicts what it means. Okay, so let's go down to the code, and I think we can again get help from the means, like how we can break down the code. Okay, and you can ask for help on the merge sort anywhere. So if anyone knows by the profile of the comment and the whole chat, you will know where it came from, so you can ask help or from like anyone on the merge sort. And this is the merge sort. First you may break it into half, and after making it into half you make them merge. So in the last step you will know how it's all coming together. So let's start with the code. So before doing that, we'll first check the constraints. So here D is test case. So number of test cases, that is 15. N is size of array. It is in the 10 to the power 5. So int will do. And the value in the array is in the range of 10 to the power 7. So we'll take a long for that. So let's start with it. Okay, this is the basic template for C++. So we'll first start with test cases. So it is only of 15 in the size, so int is sufficient for that. So we'll take input for test case, so that will be C in test case, and we want to give output for all the test cases. So this can be basically written with a for loop or while loop, whichever you prefer. And in this particular loop there are two things. First we'll be taking input for size of array, so that is n, and second thing is our array elements. So first we have to declare them. So let me declare the size, that is int n. And so let's what I can simply do is I'll simply initialize the array pointer here, and first I'll take the value for number of elements, and after this I'll initialize the array into heap. So this will become int n. So however, as of now we know that the elements which are present in our array of size long, so I'll basically change this to long, and also I need to change this value to long as well. Okay, so this is the case. Now we have our array ready, and for this array we'll take the input. So this will be basically a for loop from I is equal to 0 to less than that of n. So we'll taking all the value and it will be inserted into array index wise. We could have used vector, however we will not do that because using the array simplifies our problem, and vectors are not passed by default, but passed not by as a reference by default. So we'll use a simple array, and we will need again a second array, that is a temporary array, which will store all the merged values, and after that we'll copy all the values from temporary array to our original array. So let me take a temporary array, so this be of size n again. So after this what we'll do is we need to count the inversion. So here, instead of writing whole program into main, we'll go with the modularity. That is a trend here. So let's create a function that is a merge sort, and here we'll pass the values, that is array, then a temporary array, then the first value or start you can say, and the last value. So last value would be n minus 1. Okay, so this is the function, and for this function we'll write the description or So as of now, we would be returning the value of count from merge sort only. So in the merge sort, there are two things. First, like three things we can say. First, we will apply the merge sort on the left part, like left half, and second would be applying the merge sort on the right part, and then third is a merging the two predecessor. So we have to keep three things in mind while writing the function, and in the merge or the merge function we would be counting inversion. So that is where we need to return the count. However, because this is a recursive function and merge comes under a merge sort, we would be having return type here. So this will be a long, and let me write merge sort. So here we'll have the value that is I think if we were having long array, again long temp, here values would be, let's go with the long, so I don't want any issue of overflowing, so it will be a long start and long end. Okay, so now what we'll do is we want our merge sort to function only if there are values like values which are greater than 1. So whenever we have array size of that is greater than 1, or we can say our start is less than that of end. So whenever there will be one element, the start and end will be at the same position. So we can simply write if our start is less than that of end, that means we have more than one elements into the array, then only we want to call merge sort recursively. So here what I'll do is I'll simply call a merge sort, and we need to pass values here for the left part. Again I'll write a merge sort. Here we need to part values for the right part or right half, and then again there will be a merge function. So this is the basic skeleton of our merge sort. So let's do this like whole process. So what we need to do is which we saw in the explanation part in the first part. So we need to have the value that is a mid. So we'll calculate the mid value. So first let me initialize the value mid. So let's take that as a long type again, and mid will be calculated here. So mid will be start plus end and whole by 2. So again this is not a good practice to have, like finding mid like start plus end by 2, because this could result into integer overflow. However, I had taken long, so this won't happen. So the standard for using this particular approach is, or calculating mid is, start and then you use end minus start, and then you divide it by 2. So this is the common practice. Okay, there is a famous notion of integer overflowing, that is a civilization game where Gandhi had I think of rage 2, and that is most peaceful most peaceful person on that particular game, and whenever he signs something peace accord or something, the rage I think get deducted by -3, so like it reduced by 3. However, due to integer flow overflow, what happens is it does not get into the -1 value. However, it returns back to the maximum possible value. It's like an unsigned int, so it will get a maximum assigned value, and he nukes everybody. Like if you if you mess with him, he'll directly nuke you. So you can search for the term nuclear Gandhi. That's a famous notion for the integer overflow. So but I think because most of the values are in the int and we are taking long for mid, I think the integer overflow won't happen here. So I'll basically use start plus end by 2, and so that was for the mid. So what we'll do is, here we first want to check for the left part. So what we'll do is we'll call for array, then we'll again pass on the temporary array. Here we'll pass first start, and the end for the first half would be mid value. So we'll pass mid. So okay, this is for the left part. So let me write a comment here. Left part or first half, you whatever seems good for you. So again here we'll pass array, then we'll pass temporary. Here for the second part, the first value would be mid plus 1. So this will be a mid plus 1 here at the starts position and end will be at the end. So this is okay. So this will be for right part or second half. Okay, now we have to call the merge function. Here we need to pass all the values. Let's say that is array, then again the temporary array which we are using to store the values. Again we'll pass on the start value, we'll pass the mid value. I'll pass mid plus 1, so that is most useful in this scenario, and I'll again pass the end value. Okay, so this is the basic what I can say merge sort function. But we are counting number of inversion, and inversion will be always here. So you can use count here. Merge function will give you the number of inversion or the count. However, because this is a recursive function and every merge sort will have its merge function, so what we need to do is we'll need to count we need to count plus is equal to all the statement that ensures that our count is being returned and calculated for all the value. So again I have to initialize the value count here, so it will be long count 0, and we need to return the value, return count. So this will be taken by a main function. So let me quickly see out here. So this will be our answer. So let's add an endl because we are having test cases. Okay, merge sort function is done. Now we have to worry about or solve merge function. So okay, let's again go for the merge function. By now we know that we are counting inversion in the merge function itself. So it is like explicitly returning the values. So we'll again go with the long, and we'll take the merge. Now here we'll copy the values which we are going to pass here. So these are the same values, but one addition, that is of mid. So what I'll simply do is I'll add a mid, like long and mid. Okay, so these are the arguments which were needed in order to solve a merge function. Here what we'll need is like in the first part which I explained, what we'll do is we'll compare the values, and if whichever is lesser, we'll get its place in the temporary array. And after doing that, there were two possible scenarios. So after copying or comparing all the values, there is a possibility that some values may remain in the first array or the second array, like first half or second half. So in that case, we'll directly copying the values. So we'll write for the both the cases. So first, let's go for the swapping condition, or where all the inversion will take place. So in order to doing that, we first need an iterator. So let me initialize the variables, and again I'll be initializing some variables. Let's say I, j and k are good. So we'll be needing a count again. So we are counting inversions here. So I think this is good. So this would do. So I'll initialize I with left value or the start value. After that I'll be initializing j value to mid. So this will be our mid, and k value to again a left value or start value, because k is we are using k for temporary array. So this is for temporary array iterator, you can say that. Okay, let me complete that. Okay, so after initializing variable, we would be comparing all the elements. So this will take only and only in the case where our start is less than that of mid and our mid is less than that of right. So that ensures that we have elements which we will be comparing. So this can be written in the while stage with, let's say, I is less than that of mid minus 1, and we can simply add a statement that is our mid, that is a j in this case, is less than that of our end. Okay, so this is the base condition. Here we'll check if our left part or like array at the index L, that is the left part, is less than that of j, that is the mid part. If yes, we'll we'll push the value which is lesser in our temporary array. If not, that is the point where inversion is happening, and we'll count that and also we will be pushing the value. So here we'll check if the array at ith index is less than that of array jth index. So let me add is equal to sign. So if this is the case, what we are simply doing is we'll adding value, that is temp k plus plus. So this is basically iterator. Here the value would be stored of I plus plus. Okay, I is for left iteration. If this is the condition, all values will be copied, and this is a no-brainer. Whichever is the lesser will be copied. Else, if we get into the else part, so here else will be, I think statement. What else will be? We would be copying the values from the mid. So this will be again a temp. Here this would be a k plus plus, and in else part we will be copying values from j. So in the first part, if you observe, we were comparing values from the left to the mid, and whichever was lesser, we were taking the input. That was a 4 and 2, I think. So that was the case. So this is the main case, and here is the all inversion is happening. So I need to count inversion here. So here basically inversion will be the middle value or the index at middle is present as of now, and the value that is of left, if they are like, if the middle is greater, we need to do the swap, and the number of elements between them, that is the count of inversion. So this will be basic mid minus I, not 1 I. So this is the real count, or we can say a number of elements in between. So that is the number of swaps which we need to do in order to get array sorted. So this is the case, not bent, it's between. Okay. So far so good. Okay, now we remain with the two conditions that are first, if the like we have compared all the values, and there are elements present in the first half or the second half. So this is like a basic while loop. We'll check if that is the case. So this will be a, let's say, if I is less than that of mid minus 1. So if this is the case, and if the values are present there, we will be simply copying the values. So this will be again temp k plus plus. The values would be copied from the left. So this will be a I plus plus. Similarly, this will be a right. For the right part, we'll check if the mid, that is j, is less than that of n. And if this is the case, what we would be doing is we'll push the values from the array to our temporary array. So this will be array j plus plus. So okay, so far seems good. So what we need to do in the end is we need to copy all the values from the temporary array to our primary array or the original array. So this can be basically done with simple array loop. So this will be, let's say, I is equal to star. Let's take another variable a, because we have used I, j and k. Let's go with a. So this is like, let's say, with start, and a is less than end and I plus plus. So this will be a is equal to sign here, because in the start, if you see, I have passed n minus 1 here. N minus 1 we have passed. So this will be a is equal to sign there. So where was I? Okay, this. So not I plus plus, a plus plus. Okay, for this, what I would want to do is I'll store the values of all the indexes which are present in temporary to our original array. So this will be a basically a, and let me add semicolon there. Here, after counting all the values, we would be returning, give me a minute, we would be returning count. Okay, so let's understand the flow once again. After that, I'll check if there is any compilation error, because I think there are some reds. I think red. Okay, because of there is a missing semicolon. Okay, let's go again with the flow. So we'll check if there is an issue. We'll sort that out. Okay? No big deal. So first, this is our main function. We have taken a while, and we have initialized the array. After that, we take an input and we call the merge sort function. Here we pass the array, the temporary array, and after this uh, we have the merge sort function. And in the merge sort, so there is some spelling error. So in the merge sort function, we did 3 steps, that is first for left half, second for the right half, and then the merge function. And in this particular merge function, we compared the values, and like whichever was the lesser, we push that value in the temporary array first, and after pushing the all the values, we are copying all the values from the temporary array to the original array. So let's check if the particular solution works or not. If not, we'll surely improvise. Okay, it passes all the test cases. Let's check if it passes all the hidden test cases or not. Okay, it passes all the hidden test cases. If you are someone who's trying to solve all the problems for HackerRank interview preparation kit playlist, do check other videos. And if you think there is need of improvement on my part, do let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching. Have a great rest of the day.